Do you remember the first time you heard the words social distancing? If you were like me, you probably laughed out loud. Initially, you may have thought sarcastically, okay, let's stand 6 feet apart now, complete with an eye roll. But as the threat of coronavirus began to reach our shores and draw closer to us, we began to sacrifice more, such as going grocery shopping only at certain times, or giving up time with family and friends, or no longer seeing our classmates in person, or trying to work from home, or washing our hands so often it's amazing there's even still skin on them. Some gave sacrifices greater than others, and a new class of heroes emerged. In custodians who made sure public spaces were as clean as possible, or nurses and doctors who put themselves in harm's way to care for those most contagious, or people giving their lives, like Father Giuseppe Berardelli, who gave up his ventilator, bought for him by his parishioners, so that a stranger might be able to live. What's amazing is that in the span of a couple months, we did what seems most impossible. We changed human behavior. It's a miracle to change behavior and habits in a household, let alone throughout the world and across language barriers. And yet we made these sacrifices, not just for ourselves, but out of love for others, that by our sacrifice, others may live and be spared from the invisible, deadly enemy. I propose to you that on this ironically named Good Friday, we see now in the COVID-19 sacrifices a reflection of what Christ's sacrifice is all about. Think about his crucifixion for a moment. Imagine if by Jesus' death just one person lived differently. One person chose to redirect his or her life so that every action, every sacrifice made was done for Christ's glory, even to the extent of laying down their life for somebody else. But it wasn't just one person who came to believe. It was a ragtag group of followers that after Easter became determined to live differently, to sacrifice differently, to live their lives not for themselves, but sacrifice out of love, so that their fellow brothers and sisters may be healed from the invisible enemy of sin. Our faith today is the fruit of their sacrifices, some greater than others, but all for the same goal. Their sacrifices haven't stopped. They are ongoing. So Jesus' sacrifice is not some past event, but an earthquake that produced a tsunami of faith that propels us onward. Jesus' sacrifice isn't over, it's ongoing. We participate in his saving of the world by the way we live now in the world. St. Paul sums this up in Colossians 1:24 when he says, "Now I rejoice in my sufferings for your sake, and in my flesh I am filling up what is lacking in the sufferings of Christ on behalf of his body, the church." So I ask you on this Good Friday, what parts of you need to be nailed to the cross with Christ? One final thought. When we normally gather on Good Friday, we process forward to a bare wooden cross and kiss it as a sign of reverence. During this time when we are on lockdown or socially distant, draw close to Christ. Love him, by whose sacrifice we live.